Morning reflections, barn time. Could you tell it's chilly? I'm gonna totally leave my sunglasses on too. I should just write this down, but I just had this quote pop through my mind. J.K. Rowling quote, which is kind of sad because we're not sure we like her anymore, but she is a literary genius about how one of the most courageous things you could do is to stand up to your friends. And I had to stand up to a couple people this week. They're not my sticky note friends. My sticky note friends would never do this. But I just was thinking about that because it was really hard for me to do and to express myself in that way. And I don't think it went over well. But I was talking about that to somebody else who I'm closer to, and they were like, well, shoot, what they did was kind of shitty. Like, no wonder you felt the way you did. You should feel that way. Um, because the thing was is the same issue popped up between the two of us today, and we handled it completely different, and there were no bad feelings, like none whatsoever. Because what I told somebody the other day was part of what I needed. One, I needed not to have my turn skipped, but I also needed clarity, and there was no clarity in this situation. Whereas when the same thing, honestly, the same thing, kind of a little bit to a degree, happened to me the next day, but I got clarity out of that person, and we talked about it and we worked it out. Even though I took the short end of the stick that day, and that was fine. But see, the thing was, is she didn't bully me into it. It's different, and she didn't expect it, which is different. Nor did I expect her to give way. And the same thing today we had with a different person, the same person who was like, actually, what happened to you 3 days ago was kind of shitty. So I've just been thinking about how hard it is to stand up to other people. And then something else is super related with somebody gave me a piece of advice that I just don't agree with, and it made me just think that sometimes you just, no matter how big those voices are, and actually I really like this other person, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with her on anything, and it just made me rethink, like, you can't listen to everybody. You always have to go back to your own heart. You always have to go back to what feels best for you. And her suggestion, I feel like, is not what's best for me or for the horse involved. And it just over and over and over again has to go back to that. You have to do what's best in what you feel is best in your heart.